is Ishwari Gonnot with Conscious Shift Revolution, and it's my privilege and honor to have a very special guest today, Jack Fresco. And Jack has a background of industrial design and spent most his life to find solutions to help this world at all levels. His movement and site is called the Venus Project, venusproject.com. And we have Roxanne with us, who has been working with Jack for, what is it, over 30 years, right?
Right, 33 years.
Okay, 33 years. Wow, that is an amazing commitment. Thank you for the two of you to be here today. And so I look at your project, and I feel very inspired, but somewhat overwhelmed, because I feel like, how can we jump from where we are today to all the design that I can see on your site?
To all the designs.
Well, I think that the only solution to the world's problems today would be the declaration of all the Earth's resources as the common heritage of all the world's people. Otherwise, you're going to have continual territorial disputes, wars, peace, economic boom and bust, unless we accept the Earth as the property of all the world's inhabitants. From a religious point of view, I believe the Earth might have been created for all people to enjoy, but it appears that aggressive nations took land away from others, and they were called conquerors. In the future they'd be called thieves if they lost the war. So as you see, all the nations of the world are basically corrupt. Not because they intend to be, they don't know any other way to solve problems except to make laws. And most man-made laws are unreal. They don't relate to the world and its problems. So even if you were to sign treaties with other nations, if the treaty doesn't serve their interest, they will violate the treaties just as we do. The United States violates whatever treaties do not serve our interests.
Right. So what would be the next step to move out of this current corrupted world that you're describing into a more harmonious one?
Well, the next step would be, and that is our next step, would be to make a motion picture to show what the world can be. I don't know what it will be, what it can be if we work together, share ideas, take care of the Earth, the atmosphere, and the environment, and all the inhabitants that live on the Earth. I would like everyone to learn to pledge allegiance to the Earth and all the people on it without any particular national interest. In other words, once you divide the nations into separate groups, they fight for their own interests.
You have to remember, when the United States was forming, all the states that were there had militias and they were fighting one another. But when they decided to join, they took the militias away and they weren't fighting anymore. They were one country. The same thing has to be done with the whole world and share resources. What's needed are not more laws or intelligent or ethical people in government, but the intelligent management of the Earth's resources for the benefit of everyone, not just a selected few or just particular countries.
Yeah, well, that makes sense to me. Now, sometime having a motion picture that describes that, there is some people who have kind of become somewhat, what would I say, what's the word, resigned by seeing the way it is now, and don't have that awakening to possibilities, and they want to hear something more concrete. So let's say we already have this inspirational vision of how it could be. We already have that in our I see all the beautiful images on your site, and I'm very inspired, but I still wonder, how can this turn around? I guess there's how can we move away from greed to service, and so that we can really open the doors of these borders and work together as one. I'm still questioning how can that happen.
Well, the culture today generates greed because it serves an advantage. You get more goods and services. You can take care of your family. You can take care of your stockholders. So greed in this culture is something that is rewarded, as Jacques saying. But in the future, we want to make a society where there is really no need for greed, because things would be available to everyone. How we get from here to there, as you're asking,
yes,
is that people are not educated intellectually or emotionally to sit back and ponder a new society and figure out what's wrong in this one. They're so full of stress just to get money to take care of their needs, their aspirations. So this system, no system can freeze and go into society, go into the future as it is. They have to change. And this system is falling apart. We really have to wait for the evolution of society, and this system is really crashing, and they don't know what to do. So what we are doing is posing an alternative that is really for the benefit of people and the environment. No one else that I've ever seen is working on that, and working on it so comprehensively, where they lay out city designs, transportation, clean energy.
I agree.
And how to get along with one another. What are the values to maintain this type of system?
Yes.
So what we want to do is, as Jacques said, is a major motion picture to show people, present to people what it could be like, what they're missing, because they haven't a clue. It's not socialism, communism, free enterprise system, fascism. It's none of those things. It's wishes or aspirations or philosophy. It's, as I said, the intelligent management of the Earth's resources for all. So as this system collapses, we want to show people what they can have. And hopefully, if enough people like you present the ideas or are interested in the ideas and spread the word, and we can get the major motion picture out there so people will know what direction to move towards, we might have a better chance. Because as this system starts to fall apart, the only thing that is organized in this country, in the U.S., is the military. So that's what will be dominant, and that's what will try and solve problems, and it won't work.
Right. So, well, I hear a lot of very important points in what you just say. I hear, first I hear the word education, and I do believe it's the first step. And you're not only providing technologies, you're also providing a whole ethical way of being. Is that correct?
Yes. Well, we don't preach that, but we want to make an environment where that is what, like all the religious and spiritual teachers talk about, but make it a working reality. If you have a society, as we advocate, that does not use money, you make things abundant and available to all people without a price tag, then they don't have to fight for human rights or women's rights or black rights or Jewish rights. Everybody will be able to partake, and you don't have to have money to get the things that you need. It's available. It's the beginning of the civilized age. So in that way, the behavior of people would be very different. They wouldn't have to steal for what they want. They could manifest love and spirituality. But today that's very difficult when you have to lay people off, and you're preaching love and spirituality, but you have to lay people off in order to give your stockholders more money, or you have to go abroad and outsource because there's cheaper labor. You really can't manifest those types of aspirations that you talk about and try and generate in a monetary system.